Some cars are comfy on the inside but don't have power on the outside. And some cars have the horsepower but none of the comfort. I used to think there weren't any cars that were the total package. But that all changed when I got my Honda SUV. It's rugged and sophisticated, and right now, Honda has deals on the entire Honda SUV lineup. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Passport, you name it. So if you're looking for a car that's the total package, the only place you'll find it is at your local Honda dealer. Hurry before they're all gone.
Discovery Plus has what you're hungry for, with new original series and a supersized collection of favorites. It's the largest collection of food shows anywhere, all for only $4.99. Discovery Plus, the streaming home of food, plus so much more. Start your free trial.
Clarity.
Our first debate this evening in the general election for Virginia Attorney General.
A judge orders a man charged with murder and hitting and killing a pedestrian in D.C. to remain in jail. I'm Valerie Bong.
Nationals 6, the Pittsburgh Pirates 0 in the top of the 7th. 9 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Jennifer Kuiper in Chicago. Joe Biden has his first in-person sit-down as president with Vladimir Putin in Geneva tomorrow. CBS's Stephen Portnoy is there.
The president's agenda for this summit is long. Aides say he intends to raise a range of issues related to Russia's bad actions under Putin.
Well, he's a master of malign activities.
But Rose Gottemuller, a lecturer at Stanford University and a former top NATO official, says there's also an opportunity here for the two men to see eye to eye.
We have mutual positive interests that we need to work on, such as making sure that Afghanistan does not collapse and making sure that nuclear weapons continue to be in a process of limitation and control.
Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Geneva.
California and New York State are back in business. Most remaining COVID restrictions are now lifted. It comes as the U.S. passes 600,000 COVID deaths. CBS's Carter Evans in Los Angeles.
Tonight, a grand reopening for the first state COVID closed, California. Mask mandates and social distancing rules are over for the fully vaccinated.
Finally, we are here, June 15th, to turn the page.
It's especially exciting for businesses that lost business.
It feels amazing. There's a new life. We've reached the end of a very long tunnel.
The western U.S. is broiling as a heat dome drives up temperatures. In the California desert, it's upwards of 105 degrees. And for this Palm Springs resident,
coming from outside and coming into the AC, it's such a relief.
The heat sticks around the rest of the week. Israeli aircraft have carried out a series of airstrikes at militant sites in Gaza, the first such raid since a ceasefire ended the war last month. It comes after a march by hundreds of Israeli ultra-nationalists marching through a Palestinian neighborhood in Jerusalem. Palestinians in Gaza responded by launching incendiary balloons that caused at least 10 fires. Mackenzie Scott, the former wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, and her current husband have donated almost $3 billion to nearly 300 organizations. CBS's Peter King with what this means for two Florida universities.
Scott and her husband have donated $40 million each to Florida International University in Miami and the University of Central Florida in Orlando, specifically because they serve underserved communities. UCF President Alexander Cartwright says most of the donation will be put into the school's endowment.
That guarantees that this investment today will continue to have an impact 100 years into the future.
Cartwright says it's the largest donation the school's ever gotten and will be a difference maker for financially disadvantaged students. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
The Dow closed down 94 points, NASDAQ down 101. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Want to see your loan options? Adjust payments and closing costs online in real time? Rocket can.
9:03 on this Tuesday, June 15th. 73 in D.C. Mainly clear and comfy tonight with lows in the mid-60s. And good evening, I'm Ken Duffy. The top local stories we're following this hour, well, it's a new beginning in Maryland. Governor Larry Hogan ending the state of emergency July 1st. And the mask mandate will go down with it as well. It'll happen 1 year, 3 months, and 10 days after the first confirmed COVID cases. WTOP's Megan Clardy reporting the journey from there to here has been a long one.
Governor Larry Hogan announced he's lifting the state of emergency in Maryland, and on July 1st.
Masks or face coverings will not be required in any settings, anywhere, including schools, camps, and child care facilities.
Hogan says with 72% of Marylanders over 18 vaccinated and a positivity rate below 1%, it's safe for him to lift restrictions.
At this point, there's simply no excuse for not getting vaccinated. The vaccines are safe, they're effective, and they're readily available everywhere.
On July 1st, Maryland will start a 45-day grace period to give individuals time to renew their driver's licenses and get their rent payments together, for example, before all pandemic-related moratoriums are lifted. Megan Cloherty, WTOP News.
Virginia saw a socially distanced debate today for Attorney General. Democrat Mark Herring and GOP challenger Jason Miyares debated via video call during the Virginia State Bar's annual meeting. The moderator brought up hate crimes and legal protections for marginalized groups, twice referring both the Asian American and LGBTQ communities. Miyares repeatedly returned to his push for tough criminal sentencing and reduced parole options.
Listen, there's no place for hate in our Commonwealth. And not only do we see a rise, obviously, in crimes against our Asian American community, but also anti-Semitic attacks are on a sharp rise. The problem is if you're going to go after those that are committing hate crimes, you have to make sure you go after those violent repeat offenders, because so many of these people have records. They don't suddenly just wake up one day. They have prior criminal histories.
Herring, who's the current AG, countered by saying Miyares' repeated votes against hate crime protections that would reduce the incidence to begin with.
Even as recently as 2021, he is shockingly opposed to LGBTQ rights. He voted against marriage equality. He voted against adding LGBTQ Virginians to hate crime protections. And the Virginia Values Act that includes a lot of those non-discrimination protections is supposed to be enforced by the Attorney General.
Voters in Virginia have time to make the decision by the election in November. 9:06 new tonight, the D.C. Council voting to ban the sale of flavored tobacco products, such as flavored e-cigarettes, menthol cigarettes, and flavored cigars within a quarter mile of middle and high schools. An amendment, though, was added to the bill that would allow hookah bars. The president of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, Matthew Myers, praised the vote, saying that, quote, flavored products have also long been a favorite tobacco industry strategy for targeting kids, Black Americans, the LGBTQ community, and other communities. The council is expected to vote again on the bill in 2 weeks. New details emerging in the case of a driver charged with hitting and killing a pedestrian at a D.C. bus stop.
A judge has ordered 29-year-old Gerald Lewis to remain in jail until his next scheduled hearing in July. Lewis is charged with second-degree murder, driving under the influence, and reckless driving. He's accused of hitting and killing a man at a bus stop shortly after 3 a.m. on Sunday. That was in the 1500 block of 14th Street Northwest. In an affidavit filed in D.C. Superior Court, police say Lewis smelled of alcohol and became angry at the scene of the crash. When they asked Lewis if he had been drinking, police say in the affidavit that he replied, quote, like an hour or two ago, I was. Valerie Bonk, WTOP News.
A 19-year-old black man says he prayed for protection as he was repeatedly kneed by a police officer on the boardwalk last weekend in Ocean City. The scene was captured on smartphone video. The confrontation began over vaping on the boardwalk, which is banned in that area. Brian Anderson of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, tells WBAL-TV that what he was thinking at the moment, quote, I just asked God to give me the strength and to guide me, protect me so that this officer doesn't make this my last day. But police tell a different story. They say one of Anderson's friends was yelling profanities and approaching officers while another picked up a bicycle and tried to hit a public safety aide with it after shoving that same aide. You can read more.
Some cars are comfy on the inside, but don't have power on the outside. And some cars have the horsepower, but none of the comfort. I used to think there weren't any cars that were the total package. But that all changed when I got my Honda SUV. It's rugged and sophisticated. And right now, Honda has deals on the entire Honda SUV lineup. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Passport, you name it. So if you're looking for a car that's the total package, the only place you'll find it is at your local Honda dealer. Hurry before they're all gone.
Discovery Plus has what you're hungry for, with new original series and a supersized collection of favorites. It's the largest collection of food shows anywhere, all for only $4.99. Discovery Plus, the streaming home of food, plus so much more. Start your free trial